Hi, David Martin here, bringing you a brief message on this Thanksgiving weekend. And it's about a blog post I made on my Spanish language blog a couple of days ago. I received, that blog is evolucionpersonal.net for those of you that speak Spanish that want to check it out. And it was about, as with all my blog posts or my newsletter broadcasts, I like to sign off, even as I do in English, put everything you have into everything you do. And I got an email, a response from one of my readers who reads both English and Spanish. He's probably watching this right now. And I made a post on the blog earlier about this, about redirecting your focus, because he wrote this blog and it was very thoughtful, very insightful, and I have a lot of respect for this gentleman because he's been around for a long time. He, years ago, left his home when he was in his teen years in Italy and ended up in Venezuela and spent time in the merchant marine and ended up in Venezuela, made a career and built a family there, and then at 70 relocated here to the United States to start new again. And it's just an amazing, amazing guy. So I read his emails when I get him. I read them with heart and with great consideration. And he was talking about the global climate and the global crisis and how part of it may be manufactured with the banking and the politicians, and you know that you can put everything you have into everything you do, and the gist of it was basically that the deck is stacked against us. And that no matter it, how about if we try all this? And my sense was we try as hard as we can. We try everything we've got, and yet it still seems like there's a certain force against us, if you will. If you know, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But he has points in a lot of what he writes. However, you know, sometimes that's the game, the hand we're dealt, so to speak. This is like if this throws some, you know, it's not easy because right now the old, well, hey, if someone throws you a lemon, make lemonade. It's not always easy to follow that. I mean, I understand. We've all got things going on. And there's all things in the world. But, you know, there's an article that I like to quote from when I give presentations, of course, depending on the topic. But it bears repeating right now. And it talks about how this article says the world has become a smaller place. We're receiving communication and messages faster now and information faster now than ever before in history. And we're burning up our natural resources. And the politicians are corrupt, and big business is trying to control the governments, and there's a population explosion, and wars are breaking out everywhere. And it goes on to this, and it sounds like it came out of the New York Times or Time Magazine or Newsweek last week, or yesterday even. And when I ask people about this, and I'll ask them like, oh, Wall Street Journal, Time Magazine, they give me all these different answers and responses because it sounds so familiar to us. But here's the key. That article that I quote from was written in 1833 in the Atlantic Journal, over 176 years ago. So what's really changed? See, the thing is, what this gentleman was talking about, and you know, I agree, in some senses I agree, there are some challenges going on, but what he's talking about, those are what we call uncontrollable variables. And if you focus on uncontrollable variables, you're going to be frustrated most of the time. You're going to have a hard time because you can't control that, right? The power's in here. The power's inside that 6 inches of dull gray matter between your ears. So redirect your focus. Ask yourself, what's good about this? Get ready for next week, okay? Today, like I said, it's Thanksgiving weekend. This coming week, stay tuned to the Performance Coaching Systems newsletter. If you're not already a member, go to www.empowermax.com. Get on the newsletter, because we're going to do a special one-off conference call that's separate from the regular Wednesday night call on redirecting your focus. I do this call every year. I do a special every year to add on to the knowledge that we have. And it's going to be recorded, so it will be available to listen to again. But take heart, guys. When you control what you focus on and you direct your focus into the areas that you want, you don't have to live frustrated or with a sense of hopelessness. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel and you know it's not a train. So thanks for listening. This is David Martin of EmpowerMax Performance Coaching Systems, asking you to put everything you have into everything you do, because the best is truly yet to come. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon.